Hey there, pilots! This is Dauntless Sam, and today we'll be looking at the history of the Macchi C.200 and its flight characteristics in War Thunder. The Macchi C.200 Seda, or MC-200, was a World War II fighter aircraft built by Aeronautica Macchi in Italy, and used in various forms throughout the Italian Air Force. The MC-200 had excellent maneuverability, and general flying characteristics left little to be desired. Stability in a high-speed dive was exceptional, but it was underpowered and underarmed for a modern fighter. From the time Italy entered the war on June 10, 1940, until the armistice of the 8th of September 1943, the C-200 flew more operational sorties than any Italian aircraft. The Seda ranged over Greece, North Africa, Yugoslavia, and the Mediterranean and Russia. Its very strong all-metal construction and air-cooled engine made the aircraft ideal for ground attack, and several units flew it as a fighter bomber. Over 1,000 were built by the time the war ended. Following the end of Italy's campaigns in East Africa, a program was started to completely re-equip the Italian Air Force with new interceptor aircraft of modern design. On the 10th of February 1936, specifications called for an aircraft powered by a single radial engine with a top speed of 500 kilometers an hour, a climb rate at 6,000 meters of 5 minutes, with a flight endurance of 2 hours, and armed with the single, and later increased to two, 12.7mm machine guns. Macchi's lead designer was Mario Castoldi, the creator of several racing aircraft which competed for the Snyder Trophy, including the M39, which won the competition in 1926. He also designed the MC-72. In designing a modern fighter, Castoldi proposed a modern all-metal cantilever low-wing monoplane with retracting landing gear and an enclosed cockpit. The fuselage was of semi-monocoque construction with self-sealing fuel tanks under the pilot's seat and in the center section of the wing. The distinctive hump elevated the cockpit to provide the pilot with an unobstructed view over the engine. The wing had an advanced system whereby hydraulically actuated flaps were interconnected with the ailerons, so that when the flaps were lowered, the ailerons drooped as well. Power was provided by an 870 horsepower Fiat A74 radial engine, although Castoldi preferred inline engines, and had used them in all of his previous designs. With the Air Ministry specification of 1932, Italian industrial leaders had been instructed to concentrate solely on radial engines for fighters, due to their better reliability. The A74 was a redesign of the American Pratt & Whitney R1830 SC4 Twin Wasp, and was the only Italian engine that could provide a reliability similar to Allied products. Although the C-200 was considered underpowered, the air-cooled radial engine provided some cover during strafing missions. Consequently, the C-200 was often used as a fighter bomber. Moreover, it was maneuverable and had a sturdy all-metal construction. Its armaments of two 12.7mm machine guns was not sufficient, but the Seda could compete with contemporary Allied fighters. The first prototype, C-200, flew on the 24th of December 1937. It was followed by the second prototype early the next year. During testing, the aircraft attained 805 km an hour in a dive, although it could muster only 500 km an hour in level flight due to lack of engine power. Nevertheless, this was better than the performance of the competing aircraft. Like other early Italian monoplanes, the C-200 suffered from a dangerous tendency to go into a spin. Early production of C-200 aircraft showed auto-rotation problems similar to the ones of the Fiat G50. At the beginning of 1940, two deadly accidents occurred due to auto-rotation. Deliveries and production were stopped, and the Italian Air Force thought of abandoning the use of the type, as the skill involved in flying it was beyond that of the average pilot. The problem was the new profile of the wing. Castoldi soon tested a new profile, but a solution to the auto-rotation problem was found by Sergio Steffanuti, who redesigned the wing section according to variable profile by just covering parts of the wings with plywood. After the modified wings of the Seda were introduced, the C-200 proved to be, for a time, the best Italian fighter. To save weight, the first production C-200 series did not have armor fitted to protect the pilots. Armor plating was incorporated when the units were going to replace the Setas with new Macchi C.202s, and often in only a limited number of aircraft. After the armor was fitted, the aircraft could become difficult to balance, and during aerobatic maneuvers could enter an extremely difficult to control flat spin, forcing the pilot to bail out. The most serious handicap was the low production rate of the type at over 22,000 hours in production time due to antiquated construction technology. A total of 1,153 aircraft were eventually produced, but almost all were gone by the time the armistice between Italy and Allied armed forces in September of 1943. In an attempt to improve performance, a C.201 prototype was created with a 1,000 horsepower Fiat A76 engine, but this was abandoned in favor of the Daimler-Benz DB601 powered C.202. The Seta was to have been replaced outright by the C.202 after only 1 year in production, but the C.200's service life was extended because Alfa Romeo could not produce enough of the RA1000 engines, and more C.200s were built using the C.202 parts while waiting for production to increase. In War Thunder, there are two variants of the MC200, the Series 3 and the Series 7, which are both Rank 1 with a battle rating of 1.7. Both variants are equipped with two 12.7mm Breda SAFAT machine guns with only 370 rounds each. Neither variant has secondary weapons. The Series 3 has a maximum speed of 487 km per hour, a climb rate of 14 meters per second, and a turn time of 20.2 seconds. The Series 7 has a maximum speed of 508 km an hour, and a climb rate of 16 meters per second, and a turn time of 19.1 seconds. Both variants are not very good at turning, so try and boom and zoom your targets. Never engage in turn fights. The aircraft has relatively powerful machine guns, but ammunition will run out quickly. I hope that this information has proved helpful. If you liked the video, please do like the video. If you would like to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and if you think anyone else would be interested in this video, don't be afraid to share it. This is Dauntless Sam. Thanks for watching.